thanks for having me. Today I want to do a little presentation for like everything I have learned on Product Hunt so far, launching a couple of times there. And yeah, so first of all, I will give you a little background what we're actually working on. So our startup is called Type Studio, and we are building a text-based video editor, which is like you upload your video and then you will get the transcribed text, which you can see in the image on the left side, and on the right side you will see the video preview. And then instead of like in a typical video editor where you like do all the editing in a timeline, you edit the video in the text. So for example, you want to cut something out, you just like highlight the text and press delete, so the video will cut automatically. Then another cool thing is like you can automatically subtitle your video, and there's a bunch of other stuff you can do with Type Studio. And of course, we are still like working on it. So there's a lot of cool features coming in the future. So, but just to give you a basic overview what we are working on. And so, yeah, today I want to like present you, or I will go through the basics of Product Hunt. I guess most of you are familiar with that, but for the ones who are pretty new to Product Hunt, I will like go through the basics real quick. And then we look at our preparation, like especially for our first launch, what we did or how we prepared our launch. And then the launch day itself, we take a look into that, and then I will share some tips and tricks which I gained through the last couple of months, and also I will share some of our results. And then I'm happy to like do a little Q&A, or like if you have any questions, I'm really happy to answer them for you. So I'm Michael, as Anthony already introduced me. I'm dealing with the growth at Type Studio, so doing all the marketing over here. So far we have like 10,000 users, 113 of them are paying, which brings us to a monthly revenue of 1,700 USD. One thing I'm a little bit proud of is like just 2 weeks ago, I guess, I got the golden badge, like you can see on the profile from my Product Hunt account, this little golden dot. It's like basically how I would describe it, like the karma points on Reddit, something like that. I'm not sure how important they are, but it's pretty cool. Like it took me almost 300 days to get it. And yeah, we started Type Studio in March 2020, and since then we launched like 7 times, and I also hunted in total 4 products. So yeah, let's get started with the basics, and I will do them real quick. Like for the people who don't know what Product Hunt is, it's like a platform where you can submit your product, or you can show it to a wide number of people. They are like according to how is it called, like let me see, SimilarWeb was it. Oh yeah, no, I SimilarWeb says Product Hunt has like 5 million monthly visitors, so there's pretty much many people visiting the site, so it definitely is a good reason to launch it there, so you can reach many people from all around the world and all professional backgrounds. And yeah, and the system works basically that there's a daily ranking where people can come to the site and upvote your product when you list it there. And so after each day, somebody wins like the product of the day, and then also there's like product of the week and on the month, and at the end of the year, it's also like the Golden Kitty Award from Product Hunt, where they feature the best products of the entire year. But it basically is a daily, like a ranking where the best products are shown, so you can discover new products. And primarily they're like digital products, but I also observe sometimes they're like physical products from like Indiegogo are launching there, but most often are like digital products, and mostly of them are also in the SaaS industry and the business like we are. But sometimes you also see like launches from community like Indie Worldwide or some others. And what you don't see that much often are like mobile apps, but they are also launching there. So if you have something like this, it's also fine, or it would definitely fit. And in general, you can like launch everything you want. So yeah, then there are like the terms hunter and maker. So the hunter is when you like submit the product to the platform, then you are like the hunter, but you can also be like a maker. The maker are all the people who are working on the product, and so you can hunt it by yourself, so submit it to the product, or you can like find somebody who is like very famous on the platform or very well known and have some traction there, like reputation, and you can like ask people to hunt your product so that they will submit your product for you, and then you are only listed as a maker. So then let's go into preparation. So I will take the first launch, choose the right day, assets, and the community. Our first launch, so I was pretty new to Product Hunt and I didn't know anything about it. So what I did for like the preparation was I went to Ryan Hoover's profile, who is like the founder of Product Hunt, and I go through his like following list, and I just texted like basically the first 100 on LinkedIn or on Twitter, like if they can give me some advice for like the preparation, what should we prepare for launching our product, and if they have any advice. And luckily there are so many nice people in this community, so I jumped on many calls with people, and they give me some great advice. And so what I did then is like I've prepared all my friends in the community. Back in the days, we were like in an accelerator program in our hometown, and I said everybody like, can you go to Product Hunt, make you an account, and we will launch in 3 weeks. So get a little bit of activity over there, so that the algorithm is like not detecting you as a new people. Why I did that, I will come later to, but yeah, so in the end, it turned out we didn't get a hunter. So in our first launch, I had to submit a product. So I was also the hunter and the maker. And yeah, so that's also the reason when we launched, we didn't get to the front page right at the beginning. So it took us almost, I guess, 1 hour to be featured on the front page, because like we are very new to the platform as well and don't have any reputation there. And then during the day, it went pretty well. Like we prepared, like we had many friends who helped out and supported us. And you can see on the graph below, in the first like 2 hours, we got almost 200 upvotes. And then it goes on. We got featured on the front page. We were in the first spot until, I guess it was like until 40 p.m. or 2 p.m. Then something happened, which I didn't expect, or we had to learn something from that. It was like we had the most upvotes, but we were overtaken by some other products. And in the end, we ended up in the 6th place, even though we had the most upvotes from the day. So that shows us that, yeah, like the quality of upvotes really matters, because like when you just get like your friends and family to the platform to help you out, their upvotes are not that much valuable as, for example, upvotes from people who are already part of the community. So yeah, we ended up in the 6th place. In general, it was a great launch, and yeah, we got lots of traction, and also VCs reaching out to us, and we got so much great feedback to like go on and iterate through our product, build the new features, and so on. Then what I did a couple of weeks later, when I wanted to do an article about our first launch, I scraped all the days from the last year for like the first 5 products to like compare which day is the hardest to get. So that's basically the first 5 products of each day, like the amount of upvotes in summed up. And so you can see there are like different days on Product Hunt where like where it's very difficult. For example, on Tuesday, where we launched our first time, because there are like the most people coming to the website or to the platform and checking new products out. And then on the other hand, you like have very not so competitive days on the weekend, for example. But then there's like the trade-off is you won't reach as many people as you would do, for example, during the week. So you have to decide which day you want to launch, because like there's some difference like in terms of the difficulty. Yeah. So then the preparation for the assets. First of all, like on the front page, you have like this little overview where you have like a thumbnail, which is basically a GIF. Nowadays, they don't autoplay, so they will only autoplay the GIF when you hover over it. So maybe not that important anymore, but usually you could do like a little GIF to get some attention for your product. Then you have like the headline, which is 40 characters long, and the sub headline, which could be like 60 characters long. And this is also new. Like you can choose right now. I guess they published it last week or like a few days ago, where you can like show if the product is free, if you have to pay for it, or is it something in between, like there's a freemium model. And the first tag will also show like which category you put it in. And then you have like when you click on it from the front page, you will get to the overview of your page where you present your product. And there you have also like the headline, the subheadline, and the categories I mentioned already. And then you can like put some assets in. We always do like a video because like we have Alex in our team who's doing like video content for us, and we think like it's very valuable like to have like something personal. We always make a video especially for product hunt launches, so it's very dedicated to the community and they really appreciate that. And then you can like add some images as well for like presenting your product. And yeah, of course you like have to put in a link to your website. When you launch the first time, it should be like the main website, the homepage. And when you launch more often like we did, I will come to that later, you will put in some landing pages, some directories. So yeah, and then you have a description which can be 260 characters long. It's down beneath and under your images and videos. And yeah, then you can also like put in your social media accounts. That should be like the profiles from your company and not your personal ones. And yeah, the topics I already said, like you can, I would recommend like choosing 3 up to 5 different topics where you want to like be listed afterwards in like in the categories on Product Hunt. And then, which is not shown on this screenshot because it's in the bottom of the comment section, you will do like a maker comment where you can go. It's pretty much the first comment you will post there, and can give in more detailed description of your launch, like give a little bit background story or whatever you like. And one little hack is like you can also include you can also include like images there. Like I did it in the last few launches. Like I put some images to make it like look more better. So that's a little trick there, or a nice hack. So then I guess that's the most important thing, the preparation for like the community. And as I said earlier, it's very important like to get a community activated to help you with, especially in the early beginning of your launch when you submit it or when you're live, because you need some early traction to get to the first like spot on the daily ranking, so everybody who's visiting the website can see your product and check it out. So it's basically like the Google SERP results. It's like the most people are checking out the first product, and there are a few less the second, and so on. So it's very important to, like, especially in the beginning, get some traction by most often like activating your community who are voting for you to be listed or to reach the first place or on the daily ranking. And for example, the Indie Worldwide group is a very great place. If I knew that earlier, like for our first launch, I would definitely had to be part of it and would connect with like people and talking to them, because I think that's a great way like to find people who are already on the platform and just like connect with them. And there are also a bunch of other Facebook groups, for example, also other Slack groups who are like very dedicated for product hunt launches. So there you can like find people who are really active or like already on the platform. And I wrote a blog article about it where I listed all the groups and stuff like that. So maybe we can like share the slides afterwards so you can check it out. So there are like a bunch of groups where you can go in, and later on you can also post and promote your launch there. And yeah, as I said, we also do like activating our friends and close network, and also like sending out a newsletter to our existing users when we are live on Product Hunt. So that's also very nice to get people who are already like know you and love your product and are willing to help you to get like support from them. So, and when you're not when you are very new to like Product Hunt, there is a way you can use Product Hunt Ship, which is a paid feature of Product Hunt where you can like pre-launch your product, and it will be shown in the right section of the website, and then people who are interested in like can already sign up with their email address to get a notification when you're live. I talked to a bunch of people who did Product Hunt Ship, and they say it's like it's a great way to like get early interested people, but on the other hand, you will also make sure you will get a bunch of like fake emails from like bots and stuff like that. So probably not all very good emails, but yeah, that's something when you're like too lazy to put in the work to connect with other people, maybe you can like consider Product Hunt Ship. So the launch day itself, first, like the submit, when you're launching with a hunter, you make sure you send everything to him early, because like all the assets and the text and the copywriting and stuff like that, because we had in the past we had some hunters and we always were late. Like we always sent over the stuff in a few hours before we went live. So that was like a little bit difficult. So make sure you prepare everything upfront and send it over a few days before the launch happening, so they can schedule your launch. But when you're like hunting your product by yourself, you can also like schedule it up to 7 days in advance. And yeah, one thing, the first image should be like the very like polished video, like marketing wise, very good designed, because that will be also the thumbnail image for like when you're sharing your link to your listed product. So make sure that you choose a nice first image or when you submit the assets. And then what I observe, like during my time on Product Hunt, there are like two different strategies, I would say, for launching. I mean, the most popular is like you submit your product or you schedule it for like 12 a.m. Pacific time, because then like the servers are set to a new day and you will get the whole 24 hours for the daily ranking. So that's the most common. And in this example, you really see how great that works for them. They launched it or submitted at 12 a.m. and they get some initial push, which brings them to the first place, and ever since then they made it up in the end for the first place overall. And but you can also like see another tactic, which is like sometimes you will see it that people are like submitting it a little bit later, sometimes even later, like 12 p.m. So 12 hours after the day starts, and they just like, or it's this tactic where you like wait and watch how strong other products are launching at that day, and you will like see if you can make it to the first or like to the top spots with like your activated community or whatever. And so there are like sometimes people launching it a little bit later, and then they get like in a short amount of time very many upvotes, which brings them to the top spots. And so sometimes you will see this as well. Yeah, then on the launch day itself, of course, you want to promote it as much as possible, like spread the word around, post it on all your social media channels. And one important thing is always don't ask directly for upvotes. Instead, I always like ask for, can we get some feedback and support? And people are actually very willing to like give some feedback on your product, like put some comments under the launch, and also like support it with an upvote. But you don't like you shouldn't ask for directly upvotes. That's not very good. Yeah, and as I said, there are like many dedicated groups, like on Facebook, Slack, on Reddit, and just like put your launch there. Here I have an example where I hunted a product from a friend. Like I posted in every group, and yeah, so most often there's not that much interaction in these groups, but at least some people are checking it out, and so it's valuable to post it there. What you can also do is like put the badge on your website, so there's like a little customized snippet, an iframe basically, which you can like implement on your website, which like have a counter for how many upvotes you have, and which always also like welcomes the people who are coming from Product Hunt to your website, and also like existing people who are visiting your websites, maybe checking it out. So that's a great way to implement it on your website. And then there's like a thing where people think linking directly to your Product Hunt site isn't that good, but I can tell you like you can definitely do it. And this quote down below is from Product Hunt itself, so they say yeah, that's totally fine to like directly link to your product page. And then yeah, of course, there's like a newsletter from Product Hunt, which comes out every day. And when you reach like the top 10 at the end of the day, you will be featured in the newsletter the next day. And that's very valuable for in general. Like sometimes it brings like the same amount of traffic which is coming during the launch day itself. So that's also something very great. Like make it in the top 10 and you will be featured in the newsletter, and you can expect some traffic from there as well. Yeah, coming to the tips and tricks. First of all, very important, don't try to cheat. So they are like, basically you can go to Upwork and or whatever, like search for product and upvotes, and you can buy them for like very cheap. Like I saw like 100, 200 upvotes for $20, something like that. So it's really like yeah, sounds good in the first place, but most often, or in general, it will never pay out, because like as you can see, obviously they try to, this example over here, they try to like artificial push it with like, I'm not sure if they are upvotes from bots or whatever, but the Product Hunt algorithm is getting better and better, and they detect it as like a spam, and then they yeah, basically take all the upvotes back from them. So, and then everybody sees like, oh, they try to like artificial. I don't want to really say that they have cheated, but yeah, it's a bad sign for your reputation as well. And by the way, there's a great website where you can go. I have the link here, where you can like see live stats from your launch. Yeah, that's as a graph, like it's very nice. So yeah, then the question that I get asked most often is like, how did we manage to launch several times? In fact, we launched already 7 times, and yeah, so what I always say is like, first off, or there's a rule by Product Hunt that you are only allowed to launch your version 2.0 only after like a minimum of 6 months. And so we try to build different use cases out of every launch. So we don't name it like Type Studio 1.0, 2.0, and so on. We build like different use cases around our new features, so that they are looking like a standalone product, even though in the end, like, it's obviously Type Studio, but the feature which we added or which we launched is basically a completely new use case. For example, the video to article is like a sharing page where you can which you can embed on your website. So it has nothing really to do with the editing itself. Yeah, and so that's a great way, I guess. That's also why it works for us. And I know a lot of other products which are doing like the same thing. And then also there are like products or examples. For example, I mentioned software, and this is a link for Indie Hacker post where they like launched the second time, and Product Hunt like kicked them out. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure why it works for us, but yeah, that's like the thing I'm thinking about why it could be working. And then also we get every time a serious hunter, like, to get a little bit more trust from like, because they are all already like huge on Product Hunt, and they bring us some trust with us or for us, and so maybe that's also helpful. And yeah, and I mean, in general, as I said, the topic video editing is large, and we can like create many how we can tackle the use cases for our features. And so that's how we launch. And maybe you can also like think about how you can like tweak it around that you can launch multiple times, because right now we are like in general like launching every month in this kind of period. So yeah, and it still works for us and bring us decent traffic, which I show you right now in the results. First of all, when you like want to get more insights, I wrote an article about our second launch, I guess it was, where we also reached, no, it wasn't a second launch, it was some other launch, but we reached the second place at the day. And I like show every statistic, like in terms of website visits, signups, and so on. So if you want to have a deeper look into that, go check it out. But yeah, as you can see, I would say Type Studio is like, especially in the beginning, it's like completely piggybacked by Product Hunt. We launched so many times, and you can tell when we are live, like there are some peaks in our website traffics, and it brings us like in totally, I mean, that's for the first and also like the second and third day, like there's decent traffic, which accumulated to like 4,000 website visits, something like that. And in the beginning, it was very helpful, like, to do that many launches, because they bring also a lot of backlinks for your website. They bring you much attention, like people are talking about your product. You will get like investors are reaching out to you because they like observe the platform for new great products which are launching there. And so there's a bunch of stuff coming with it when you launch a Product Hunt. And yeah, I mean, now you can see like we get also some organic ranking, but in the beginning it was very helpful like to get spread the word around Type Studio. And I guess that's already it. And yeah, so I hope I could bring some value for you guys. And yeah, I'm looking forward to get some questions.
Awesome. So we're going to do about 5 minutes of Q&A.